parte, he speaks, ring reduction, back to the list. Okay?
Blood type?
Okay. I got to talk fast.
Informations.
No questions tonight.
I think so.
I wouldn't ask an open question.
Listen to the code officer and vote.
No, I'm good.
Thank you.
Pretty straightforward. Hey, you missed a fun one last time, John.
For tonight,
I didn't realize it was going to be so animated. I'd love to have been here.
We had to have a break. It was so long. Bathroom break. Yeah. I brought my 9-year-old. So I was like, oh, these things only last an hour. He gets in the back. On a tab or something. 3 or 4 hours later, I was like, called my wife. I was like, you gotta come get him. Poor kid's been messaging me. This is so boring. Why am I here still? You said it was only an hour. So I felt bad, but it was interesting. I don't know if you watched it, but
I hadn't watched it.
I watched the hearings just to
I got some
make sure that I was.
I'd suggest against it. It's not good
fish
TV.
out of water.
Way better
I have
stuff on
one.
late night than
when I saw you do it, it's
a couple interesting ones though. Cat.
yeah. I mean, I noticed there's
Trees being chopped
you don't ask
down.
about the conflicts too.
So this gentleman on the end is
Just the expert.
new attorney.
yeah, the old attorney retired from the city of Tampa, and he got hired by the city of Temple Terrace on a temporary basis to be an assistant to Pam, or a regular attorney. So he's our new city attorney, and the old city attorney will be sitting right there tonight. On a temporary basis.
He's hired on now temporarily.
Yes.
Filling for Pam, and he's
Right.
the new.
Yes. But he's looking for a full-time gig, so as soon as he finds one, he'll be gone.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I feel good. I feel good. It's a victory.
We should, we don't need two attorneys.
I mean, I wish that would have been
Yeah.
a little bit more discussed here. But I think it's fair is that we can question the report.
Why?
And if we can question the report, then they can provide to us before the truth.
Yeah, but what do you want to get out of here? All right, well, we'll do what he wants, but it just seemed to me he'd like to go first and get out of here. Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll just go to regular order. So we'll just go normal order. All right. For whatever reason, the gentleman that's here for reintroduction doesn't want to go first. He wants to go last. So we're just going to follow the regular order.
Okay. Sure. Happy to accommodate.
Are we ready? Good evening. The December 11, 2019 meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented tonight. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rule of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chairman and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I'll ask that all persons expect to give testimony tonight to stand and be sworn in by the city clerk.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. Next, we'll have the approval of the minutes. Minutes of the regular meeting held on November 13th. Have all board members received the minutes of November 13th? Are there any corrections, additions, or suggestions for the meetings? If the minutes are acceptable, I'll accept a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion made, second?
second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No nays. Motion passes unanimously. Next, if our attorney would address ex parte communications, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask the members of the board if there have been any ex parte communications regarding any of the matters coming before the board this evening. That would include verbal communications. If they are verbal, please disclose the sum and the substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom the communication occurred. And if they are written communications, I would ask that they be disclosed and filed in the record with the city clerk.
I have not.
I have none.
I've had 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 none.
Thank you. Before we proceed with the cases, we do not have anybody that wants to go early, so we're going to be following the original order. But we do have a request by our past chairman to say a few words to the board.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Chairman and fellow council, well, prior fellow councilmen or board members. Because we had the late running meeting last week, my longest one of my,
You went out with a
Sure.
bang.
Set a record.
and I feel like I fell out of the tree. But I just wanted to thank each of you for your participation and the importance that it is to be on, to give, volunteer your time for the Municipal Code Enforcement Board, and to remember that what our duty is to serve the community, serve the residents of the community, and serve the city as board members for this important task. Because the code is very important to the city, to keep it beautiful and support our code enforcement people, Tom, Doug, and Jose, and our council representative. But I really do, it was a pleasure. It was an honor to be chair for 2 years. And I think that one of the big things for the board was to go from an attorney, a board attorney that I saw once in 10 years, maybe twice, to having a representative from representatives each meeting, which has been very good because it helped keep our wheels on, keep us on track. So it's weird to be on this side because I was getting used to it up there. But I want to just really thank you and the city for this opportunity that we had, and keep on going on. You got some things going on at the end of your meeting tonight, which are very important, so looks like you got are you just a temporary tonight, part-time?
Alternate.
Okay, alternate. Okay, well, welcome aboard, good to see you. All right, thank
Before
you very
sit-
much.
Before you sit down, I just want to say that we should be thanking you. 10 years of service is a long time. And you said you were only chair for 2 years?
2 years.
I thought it was longer than that, but okay.
I
2
was
years.
co-chair, but I didn't
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
run a meeting.
So, getting anybody, any citizen, all of you guys included, to serve the city in a volunteer capacity the city's grateful, and I personally am grateful because we are a city of volunteers, and we wouldn't be the city we are without our volunteers. And to do it for 10 years is kudos to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, first case. Go ahead.
Case number 194617, City versus Ayman B. and Fatima A. Syed for the property located at 9424 Bellhaven Street. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12861E6 fences appearance. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated proactively by me on August 16th, 2019. My inspection on that date revealed a wooden picket fence in disrepair, so I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of September 16th. My reinspection on September 16th showed no change, so a notice of violation was prepared on that date with a compliance date of September 26, 2019. I posted the notice on the site, and a notice was also posted at City Hall, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. The resident contacted me and asked for a time extension, which I granted. My inspection on November 19, 2019 showed no change, so a notice of hearing was prepared, and the case was scheduled for the December Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the site taken by me on September 16, 2019.
Board will accept them, thank you.
The first photo is the posting of the notice of violation, and exhibit number 2 shows a section of the fence lying on the ground. The resident did call me and ask if the site was now in compliance, as he had removed the down section of fence from the property, but I explained that the fence was still also leaning in other areas and other sections, and the entire fence needed to be contiguous, and so he could either repair, replace, or remove the fence. The site is still out of compliance, and I'm requesting a ruling.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? No questions seen?
I have one.
Oh, you do? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So, these pictures were taken on the 26th, so other than removing the one section of fence, no other work has been done
No, sir.
whatsoever?
Yeah, the fence, if I had to guess, there's probably 12 or 14 sections of fence along that line. Just about all of them are either leaning in or leaning out, and that one section was like the third from the end, and it was laying down. So he thought if he just removed the one
Yeah.
finally, that it would be in compliance, but I tried to explain to that it has to be contiguous. But you don't have to have a fence. You can take the whole thing down. You can either replace it, repair it, or remove it.
Did he give any indication when he might, if he
No,
might
sir.
do anything, or just, okay, all right, thanks.
Any other questions? Seeing none? Is the respondent here?
No, sir.
Okay. Can I now ask for a motion?
I'll do motion.
Thank you.
In case number 19-4617, I move that the city is proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist on the property located at 9424 Bellhaven Street. The violation is Section 12861, subsection E, subsection 6. The motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer. No witnesses were present, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before January 8th, 2020. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that date, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any action taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violation committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, a call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case.
Case number 194618, City versus Eileen T. Highsmith, Robert J. and Jennifer C. Fortune for the property located at 9506 Woodland Ridge Drive. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8, 102, 18A, sanitation shared area maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated proactively by me on August 16th, 2019. My inspection on that date revealed exterior wall staining and unmanicured vines on the exterior walls. I left a door hanger with a re-inspection date of September 9th, 2019. My re-inspection on September 16th showed no change, so a notice of violation was prepared on that date with a compliance date of October 4th. I posted the notice on the site, and the notice was also posted at City Hall, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My re-inspection on October 7th revealed that the exterior walls were clean and the staining removed, so I granted an extension to remove the vines. On October 20th, my inspection showed the unmanicured vines had not been removed, so a notice of hearing was prepared on November 20th, and the case was scheduled for the December Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit a photographic evidence of the site taken by me on September 16th, 2019.
Board will accept, thank you.
Exhibit 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation. The site is now in compliance, and I am submitting an affidavit of compliance, and I'm seeking a finding.
Thank you. Any questions for the officer? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion.
I'll get this one done, Larry.
Thank you.
In case number 194618, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the city Temple Terrace City Code did exist in the property located at 9506 Woodland Ridge Drive. And code sections in violation were 8-102, subsection 18, subsection A. The motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and no other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Any other board discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case.
Case number 195877, City versus TAH 2016, One Borrower LLC for the property located at 702 Aberdeen Circle. Case is before the board based on the alleged violation of Section 10(3)B, sanitation grass weeds, and Section 1034, keep premises clean. Sanitation, keep premises clean. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Jose Silva. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, board members. Jose Silva. This case originated proactively October 18, 2019. My inspection at the time revealed the yard grass to be overgrown and several large tree trunks in the front yard from a cut tree. This time I left door hangers with a compliance date of October 23, 2019. An inspection on October 23, 2019 revealed no change, so I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of November 7, 2019. I posted a notice at the front door as well as City Hall. I also mailed copies, both certified and regular mail, to the registered owner. During my inspection on November 7, 2019, I found the yard grass still overgrown and the tree trunks present. This time I have two photographs I'd like to submit.
Board will accept. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 is going to be the posting at the front door. Exhibit number 2 is going to be the overgrown grass and the tree trunks in the yard. As of this time, the property is in compliance. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion.
Make a motion.
Thank you.
In case number 19-5887, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist in the property located at 702 Aberdeen Circle. Violation is Section 10-3, subsection B. And this motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and other witnesses, which were not present, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Point of order before we get a second. There were two subsections that I thought were in violation. You mentioned one,
Yeah.
but you didn't mention the other.
I will amend my motion to include 10-34, the second violation. Both are in compliance.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case.
Case number 195941, City versus Mona Al Rifai and Nassim Rifai for the property located at 8110 River Mont Way. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8 to 102-13H, windows and exterior doors maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence of the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Code Board. Jose Silva again. This case originated proactively October 22nd, 2019. My inspection at the time noted the garage door at the residence damaged. At this time, I left door hanger with a compliance date of November 1st, 2019. An inspection on November 1st, 2019 revealed no change, so I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of November 12th, 2019. Posted the notice at the home as well as City Hall and sent certified and regular mail to the registered owner. An inspection on November 13th, 2019 revealed the garage door was still damaged. At this time, I'd like to submit 2 photographs.
Thank you. We'll accept.
Exhibit number 1 is going to be the notice posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 is going to be the damaged garage door.
Thank you.
As of this date, the garage door has been repaired, the property is in compliance. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Thank you. We'll accept that. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, respondent's not here. I'll ask for a motion.
All right, I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 19-5941, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 8110 Rivermont Way. And the code sections in violation were Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection H. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Jose Silva, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Any further board discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case.
Case number 19-6300, City versus Omar Mustafa for the property located at 102 Holland Avenue. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12860, inoperative vehicles, outdoor storage equipment. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Director Tom Baroni. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, board members. Tom Baroni, Code Compliance. This case this evening originated proactively on November 13, 2019. My inspection that morning noted yard parking and an inoperative vehicle stored in the front yard. Due to the history of the property with yard parking, a notice of violation was prepared that same day with the compliance date of November 15, 2019. Since there was no answer at the front door, the notice letter was posted at the front door, and I requested copies to be sent out certified in first-class mail. I also requested a copy to be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. My reinspection on the 26th of November noted that the parking violation was corrected, but the inoperative vehicle still remained in the driveway without a tag. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation that was taken by me on November 26, 2019. Exhibit number 1 shows the vehicle stored in the driveway, and exhibit number 2 shows the vehicle tag missing. I'd like to submit.
We'll accept, thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Hold on. I still have to more testimony.
sorry.
It's okay, it's okay,
I'm getting ahead of myself.
it's okay. As of today's inspection, the vehicle now has a Florida tag. Therefore, the property is in compliance, and I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Thank you, we'll accept that.
Okay.
Now, any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll accept the motion.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone?
Actually, can I do one question?
Okay, go ahead.
Would he have been a repeat violator in this case? Because did you previously cite him? Or did you just notice?
That was
in the
for
past?
yard parking,
Yeah.
so this would not be, it has to be the same violation.
Oh, okay, okay.
So the parking violation was corrected, however, the in-off vehicle was not.
So it only counts if it comes to the board and we talk about it?
And have a
Has to be the
finding,
exact same violation.
Right, I get that.
and we get a
but,
finding
okay.
from the
Yeah.
board, right,
Got it.
And there has to be a finding.
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, and you'll see that, especially when there's summertime parties, that there are multiple yard parking violations, but they're not violations because they come in compliance before they get to us.
Right.
Right.
So that's the game we play. Okay, Brian, you're up.
Yes, in case number 19-6300, I move that the city is proven by greater weight of the evidence. The following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 102 Holland Avenue. And the code's section 12860. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and no other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of this record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays. Motion carries. Next case.
Case number 196326, City versus 5400 Bush Boulevard LLC for the property located at 5400 East Bush Boulevard. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of 12-1047 landscape maintenance, Section 8-102-13K hardware screens, maintain a good repair, and Section 12-861E6 fences appearance. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and the notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Board Chairman and members. This Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated by a complaint on November 14th, 2019. My inspection on that date revealed landscaped areas not being properly maintained, shade cloth in the old garden center area torn and in need of repair, a rear buffer wall in need of maintenance, parking area needing to be kept clean, and debris throughout the site needing to be removed. I went directly to the notice of violations. My previous attempts at contacting the property representative had not resulted in a change to the site's condition. The notice of violation was prepared on November 14th with a compliance date of November 25th, 2019. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My reinspection on November 27th revealed that the site was not in full compliance, so a notice of hearing was prepared on November 27th, 2019, and the case was scheduled for the December Municipal Code Board meeting. I have had contact with a landscape maintenance company, and they have made improvements to the site, and I've also had contact with a contractor for the property representative who has stated he will remove the shade cloth and pressure wash the rear wall. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on November 14th, 2019.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Yeah, in case anybody's not sure, this is the old Kmart site. Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting. Exhibit number 2 and 3 show staining on the rear wall as well as debris in the landscape area. And exhibit number 4 shows the torn or damaged shade cloth. I would like to submit an affidavit of compliance for sections 12-861E6, hardware screens, but the other two violations for landscape maintenance and fences are not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Okay, so which one did you say is in compliance?
Hardware, 12-861E6.
The last one.
Okay.
I thought that was fences.
12, yeah, that's
Hardware.
fences
hardware
appearance.
screens or something.
No, that's 8-102. 8-102 subsection 13 subsection K is hardware.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, you're correct.
So that's the one.
That's the one.
So 8-102 is in compliance. The rest are
Yep,
still
I'll
remain
change
out of
that.
compliance.
What was the,
Have you, and you said you spoke to somebody for the respondent?
yes, sir. I've spoken to a contractor for the site, for the respondent, the representative, and he has gotten the shade cloth removed and was trying to get the water turned on, so that was the main issue, he said, as far as not getting the rear wall pressure washes. He didn't have a water source.
If he pressure washes the rear wall, does that clear up everything?
That'll clear up everything but the landscape islands, and they've been working on those. They're in much better shape than they were. I would anticipate within 2 weeks, the entire site being in full compliance.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for,
Okay.
go ahead. Oh, sorry. Pesky paperwork. Any questions for the code enforcement officer?
I do have one.
You do? Okay, go ahead.
Were there prior violations at this property that were rectified before it got to us?
Yes, sir. I did bring this site to the board probably in excess of a year ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some broken glass or something?
Yeah, I think there was other violations. It wasn't the same violations, but they came into compliance with those pretty quickly.
So no repeat violations
No,
on
no
this
repeat violations.
landscaping
Yeah, it was different
debris?
violations.
Yeah, this is all different violations.
Okay, I just,
Yeah, originally I had probably 6 violations to start with. They came into compliance on this particular notice, and they came into compliance quickly with about 2 or 3 of them, and then the other one they did just now come into compliance with. They've got 2 outstanding, so they're working on it pretty
so to put my mind at
aggressively.
ease, it sounds like they respond pretty well. Is this the same people you're having dialogue with now?
Right.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll call for a motion. Ooh,
Yeah, I was just going to mention, this is, kind of a reminder, there's partial compliance, so I believe there's a motion for being compliance and part of it being in compliance and part of it still being active.
thank you. With that being said, can I get a motion?
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
That's the, so because we're doing in compliance, out of compliance, would we go with the,
That one right there.
oh, compliant and existing? Ooh, I've never done this one.
Ooh,
This is fun. All right. In case number 19-6326, I move that the city is proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the city Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 5400 East Bush Boulevard. The applicable codes are Section 12-1047 and Section 12-861, subsection E, subsection 6. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer. No witnesses were present, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, of the notice of violation, all of which is received and enters part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed for violation section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection K. Because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing. I further move that the remaining violations be corrected on or before January 8th, 2020. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that date, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date for their compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $50 per day per violation.
we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion carries. That finishes our hearings for this evening. We're now going to move on to unfinished business and prior case hearings.
Case number 194518, City versus Genus Miller, Third LLC for the property located at 12702 North 53rd Street. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Officer Lori Smith for Section 121055 dated November 14th, 2019. Case number 4940, City versus Robert and Lisa McNeil for the property located at 9406 Hidden Ridge Place. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Officer Doug Allen for Section 66 dated November 14th, 2019. Case number 194612, City versus Sway 2014, One Borrower LLC for the property located at 207 Woodbine Avenue. The deadline of compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 194898, City versus Salma Properties LLC for the property located at 10043 North 52nd Street. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. And we have one case not on the agenda. That would be case number 050557, City versus Jeffrey L. Rhodes and Vernica Roads for the property located at 708 Grand Circle. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva for Section 11120.9 and 2575510 dated December 2nd, 2019. I know last meeting we presented an affidavit for that. That was because the property transfer. This one is for, they actually put the property into compliance.
So that's got to be 10 years old.
14.
14.
14?
14.
14, wow.
Just to update you with that, it's going to be presented to the January hearing. They're looking for a lien reduction.
Okay.
So that'll be presented
And
in
there's new
January.
owners, is that what we got?
The Rhodes family, yes.
The new owners on the,
No, this is the old owners.
oh, they finally just finally got around to doing it.
Well, they're looking to sell the house.
Okay.
If I
And,
may, Mr. Chair, since it is a matter that will be occurring in the future in front of the board, I would advise that the board address it at that time.
Okay, thank you.
And refrain from
Good point.
discussing now.
And I agree, it's not
Okay.
on, even on this.
Okay,
I just kind of wanted to briefly update you with it.
appreciate it, thank you.
Just to also update you with 207 Woodbine, this was the CAT case that was presented last month. Code staff has not received any complaints from any of the neighbors. So I know it's midnight tonight, but just to update you that I haven't received any complaints, so probably tomorrow morning I'll be submitting an affidavit of compliance.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, moving on to other board action. Do any board members have any other board action they'd like to address? And seeing none, thank you. We have one lien reduction tonight.
Kristen, are you going to read this in or no? Okay.
Case number 173282, City versus Patrick Bernard King, Jacqueline King Rooks, Joseph King, Paul Charles King, and Carmel Marie King for the property located at 6703 East 113th Avenue. The lien amount is $2,300. Director Brony will present.
Good evening, Code Enforcement Board. Tom Barone, Code Compliance. At this time, I'd like to introduce this lien reduction petition request in case number 17-3282, City versus Patrick Bernard King Rao, Joseph King, Paul Charles King, and Carmel Maria King, property located at 6703 East 113th Avenue, with the lien amount of $2,300. This case originated back on December 15th, 2017, when 4 inoperative vehicles were stored in the driveway with expired tags. The owner of the vehicles was deceased, and the family was dealing with probate at that time. This case was presented to the Code Board by Officer Buckland on April 11th, 2018, and the board found the owner guilty of $50 per day, which accrued a lien amount of $2,300. With 11 inspections by code staff, which cost $416, and the clerk's fees of $130, totaling $546. Based on the King's family losing 2 of their siblings, my recommendation to the Code Board this evening is to lower the lien amount to $230. That would be the 10% of the lien. I felt as though that the code staff fee and the clerk's fee $500 was just a little bit excessive. So I thought a fair amount would be $230. That's how I came to that conclusion.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Hold on, Mr.
Yeah.
Oh, is he here?
Mr. King?
Okay. Oh, what? Okay, just don't start talking till you tell us who you are.
Oh, sorry. It's Bernard King, it's not Patrick King. Okay.
Name and address for the record, please.
My address here is 6703 113th Avenue.
And your name?
Bernard King.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't know how I can do this in 3 minutes. I mean, I'm so snake bitten, and I want to apologize to Tom and some of the people of the code enforcement. What happened basically is that if I go back to the reason for the cars being in the cars have been plated. 2 of the 4 have been plated. The other 2 are going to we're either going to give them away or that they are registered. We're going to figure out something. I have a sister and a brother that live between 25 and 3,000 miles away. So I'm here. I've been here since April the 1st. April the 1st, I came here and I found my sister deceased in the house. And I wouldn't wish this on anybody. My sister was a valedictorian at USF, incredibly smart kid, but she suffered from mental illness. My sister was schizophrenic. So to meet her, you would never know that there was anything wrong with her. So what happens is it starts in late teens, early 20s, and you'll never know. She was a great actress, and the problem is that she felt threatened. If somebody came to the door, she basically barricaded herself in, and I couldn't get any help. I tried to get the wellness checks. They wouldn't, I called 5 times. Someone else called. I don't want to make this an issue that it's not really a code. I tried to get help. I couldn't get anybody to go in the house. So last year what happened was that I was advised by someone that a tree had fallen in the house. Part of the branches of the tree had fallen in the house. So we went there. We drove 1,500 miles to not know whether my sister was dead or alive. Came in the house. She was okay. I was lucky. We did what had to be done, and I couldn't put a plate on, and I'm sorry for my frustration like Tom, and he's a real gentleman, and it was, I couldn't get it done because my brother's estate wasn't finished. So anyway, that's essentially what happened. I could go on, and I don't want to really care to go on much. My parents moved here 29 years ago. It was a beautiful place, but I find that the place has changed very much, and I found that there is no, maybe it's because it's too transient down here from people, the Southerners will say it's the Northerners, but you know what, there was basically no condolences or whatever. That the neighbors that knew that my brother died, my brother got hit on Fowler by River Hills by a 19-year-old kid who tested positive for marijuana, and who I actually had a conversation with. He cried his eyes out, the poor guy. They knew what was going on, and they still complained about things. So, what can you say? Since I came down here, lost my sister, and I just get, if people would come to the door with condolences, oh, here's my business card, I sell real estate. So I've got hounded to death by people trying to get me to sell the house. Everything I get in the mail, I've had to block most of the mail because, anyway, you can imagine. So anyway, I just, like I said, I appreciate he's a real gentleman, and
Thank you, sir.
and I'm sorry for like the grief and stuff, and you're speaking of Ireland. Well, I have to go to Ireland and bury my sister in Ireland, so it's joyful for you. Unfortunately, it's not joyful for me, but it's a beautiful place. Go in the spring. And I wish in French Canada that they would have pledged allegiance to the flag, but where I live in Montreal, the reason my parents came down here when they retired is in Montreal, the French Canadians want to separate from the country, so you can't get people to do that. So that's a real nice thing, but I just don't understand the way the neighbors operate, given the things that we've gone through. Like if I ever had a problem with a neighbor, we always say, as gentlemen, we just speak and say, could you do that, and vice versa. And here it's like, if you're dying on the street, people will just walk by you. And, I don't know what to say. So I just I appreciate the reduction, and, I've done, pretty much whatever I've been asked to do as best as I can. I've been here since, the beginning of August, and, So I can't remember, I scratched the heck out of my face last night. Can't remember ever in December getting bitten by a giant mosquito because it's snow, or snowballs at my place. But anyway, and I'm not here to take the baseball team, okay?
Well, thank you.
Thanks for
How are you doing this?
Thank you, and please accept our condolences. Any questions?
I wanted to know how the gentleman felt about the $230 fine if you were.
You need to come up and speak in the microphone.
Sorry to call you back up. I just.
No, don't start talking until you get in front of the mic.
You know, I didn't. Do you mind? I mean, I'll pay it. I mean, it's better than paying $2,300. But keep in mind, it also cost us about $1,500, $1,000 to get down here last year, and you know, really, you know, my whole exasperation. It's just like you can't get any mental health help down here, and it's not a police issue. It's not a this and that. It's just you get what you pay for. You know, we're taxed to death. Florida has no state tax, so you get what you pay for, right? So it, unfortunately, it has been, you know, I don't even know what to say. So, you know, the $230, it sounds reasonable to me. If my siblings gripe, I mean, I'll just pay it and just, you know, and try to be in the compliance. I will say one last thing regarding the whole thing. I tried to, because my sister was schizophrenic, I was trying to get my youngest brother, who was like my son, to come up with me, come up north, and I couldn't get him because he was worried about the code compliance down here, and that I will tell you, and I couldn't get him. And I left here at 4:30 in the afternoon. I lost my brother in an accident the same day at 11 o'clock at night. So I want you to, you know, be human about, you know, like I understand, like you're trying to run a town and stuff like that, but sometimes there's consequences a little more than just, you know, just giving a ticket and this and that. And like I'm saying, I'm not really, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I don't even know which way is up or down. I've been so banked out here, I just don't know what to do, you know? So anyway, I thank you, I appreciate your mercy and whatever, you know.
Just one quick question. So,
And I've seen you at church, so I know you're,
oh, really?
yeah,
You go
at
to-
the USF.
You know, he's a
Oh,
good
USA?
guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for you. Great.
Well, you look like an Irishman, even though you got a German name.
So are you, you're living in the house now? You're-
Well, I've been here since April. So the thing is that what we have to do is, you know, like, I don't need to tell you that, you know, when you find someone deceased in a house in Florida, you know, with the, you know, up north, they you know, you know, it's not the same thing. It's just, you just use your imagination, paint a picture. So I've had to, a lot of stuff that, you know.
So your sister's passed away, though?
That's right.
Okay, it's not clear, at least I
Oh,
didn't
okay,
either.
sorry,
Did
yeah.
anyone else?
Yeah, my sister, I found my sister
Oh, okay.
deceased in the house, and you know, so obviously I've got to pick up the pieces, and you know, I've done some of the things that you know, most of the things I've done. You know, the screens, as I mentioned to you, I've done. I think the yard looks pretty good. If somebody goes by, I've picked up, you know, just about anything and everything. The roof is in pretty good shape, and yeah, there's, you know, there might be things in here, but I can't stay here forever. I will have to take off and come back again, and
That's
you know.
kind of where I was going with, you're not going to stay here forever, so
No.
what's the plans for maintaining the house? going
Well, I have somebody to cut the grass, and I'll have somebody come in and look at the house, like you know, one of the, you know, that kind of thing. I'm hoping to get out of here in the next little while, but of course, when it's so gorgeous outside and it's snowing up north, I'm going,
Yeah,
you
a
know.
lot of people
but-
come down here on purpose. so
Yeah,
they
no
can't,
kidding, no
this time of
kidding,
year.
you know, but I have learned, I am tougher than all you guys for one reason. I lived the whole summer with without air conditioning, and I can
Oh, wow.
survive in -30, where you guys would. But anyway, so, you know, if I get lose some weight and you need a Navy SEAL, it might be available. But anyway, I have to have a little bit of humor with this. Sorry, was there anything that I didn't answer? Basically, I'm trying to figure out, you know, how to do things. I mean, do I, you know, obviously I'm gonna do some repairs in the house, and, you know, are we gonna sell it? What are we gonna do? I need some help from my brother. My brother lives in California, so he's capable of being in there full-time, so this is a discussion with the family, and I just figured my sister lives in Western Canada, and she has 2 kids and a husband, so I figured I wasn't going to burden her with all this, you know. So like I said, I mean, it's a work in progress, as best as I can, and you know, like I said, I mean, I'm always open to input from Tom, and like I said, I put the poor guy through hell, and once again, I apologize for that, and like I said, I mean, you know, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, and I really didn't want to speak first because I thought, you know, there'd be a bunch of neighbors, and, you know, but I think there's, anyway, like I said,
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
I'll look for you in church.
Tom, we have a question for you.
You're there Sunday night, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I noticed you made a recommendation of 230. To your knowledge, have we ever gone below that on a lien reduction?
There was one time we reduced it to 0.
Okay.
Maybe about a year ago or so. There was a hardship, and we got this property in compliance was Officer Buckland donated 2 car covers to the King family, and Mr. King went out and bought 2 other car covers. These aren't tops, these are the proper car covers for the vehicles, and that's how we put it in compliance. So. And we also received many complaints from neighbors about this property because of the eyesore of the vehicles. So this wasn't generated by code staff. This was also generated by a complaint.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion. You can do it, okay. After we get a second.
In case number 17-3282, for property located at 6703 East 113th Avenue, upon hearing the facts and the argument from the city and the property owner, I hereby move the board recommend to City Council the lien be reduced from $2,300 down to $230, contingent upon the lien being paid within 30 days of the council's decision, or revert to the original amount of $2,300, and the city is authorized to enforce the fine in accordance with the law. Please note that the $230 reduction was at the behest of Code Compliance Director Tom Baroni.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of going similar where I think you were, Sean, is I was wondering the precedent of it being 0 due to the circumstances, which are horrible, which we've heard. I know in the past that we've taken into consideration people's circumstances, and this is about as bad as it gets. So, if we've done it in the past, this seems to be precedent, you know, to do it again. I think it was a death in the family you mentioned last time. 2 deaths in the family last time?
This case here, there was.
No, the one before where we went it down to 0.
It was financial hardship. I think it was-
Right.
Yeah, it was a financial hardship.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 230 is fair, but I would entertain doing 0 if
I presented my recommendation.
right. Yeah, yeah.
The 230, reducing it down to 0 will require a modification of the motion.
I just didn't know if that was anything anyone else was considering,
Do we vote on the motion?
or if we
down,
even,
do
or
I
if that's even
modify it?
something I'm supposed to ask.
You'd have to agree to modify your motion, or we'll vote on the motion. If your motion fails, then we'll have another motion.
I just felt like you were going that way because you asked about
Well,
it. So
I'm on the fence. The fact that Officer Buckland had, helped a little bit with car covers and so forth, but they've been some synergy on getting this property compliant. We've had properties that sit much longer for worse conditions, so that was why I was originally thinking it. But when it came back to, okay, well, we did have some help from Buckland, that's when I went with the 230.
Okay, we have a motion in the discussion. Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So just so you understand, sir, the this board just made a recommendation to the city council for a lien reduction to $230. You will have to show up for the council meeting in order for that lien reduction to become final, and you'll have, just a second, please, and you'll have 30 days from that meeting night to pay the fine, or it reverts back to the original 2,300. Now, it is possible that the council will not accept a recommendation or may change a recommendation, but they finalize the final lien amount. We make the recommendation. If you have, so come on up. Just state your name again for the record.
Bernard King.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate the gesture. Listen, I just need closure. So, I don't want to go, I'm just, I'll go over the next few days and I'll just pay the $230 and we'll call it even. Okay, I appreciate it.
Well,
But do you
I don't think you can do that.
No, the next, they had to wait till the council finalizes. We make a recommendation to the council. So you have to show up.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not, unfortunately, it's not over yet.
Okay.
So you'll have to, January 14th is the next meeting?
I believe the next council meeting is January 14th.
6 o'clock on January 14th is when the council convenes here. Same room.
January 21st.
January 21st. Okay, January 21st is when the council will convene to hear your lien reduction.
Right.
Our recommendation will get in front of them. I will be there as chairman.
Okay.
Or if I get elected tonight, or
Right.
whoever the chairman is. And they either will or will not accept our recommendation. If they accept our recommendation, that's when the clock starts ticking, and that's when you can
Okay.
pay it.
So what happens if I can't stay here? I don't know when I didn't plan on being here.
You can work that out with
much
Tom.
longer.
The
but-
respondent doesn't have to be at the council.
No, you don't have to be at the council meeting, but
The
you can.
decision will be made at that council.
Decision will be made at that council meeting.
Okay.
If, as far as, let's assume that they accept our recommendation.
Right.
I assume, just make sure Tom has a way to get a hold of you. and-
Yeah, he does, he
Yeah,
does.
and we'll get that worked out.
So sorry, you said January 21st?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, anyway,
It says-
happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and
Same
thank
to
you.
you.
January 14th.
You just said the 21st.
You can give it Tom, he'll get you the final date.
14th, there's a much better chance I'd still be here on the 14th than the 21st.
21st. So just get with Tom, and he'll work it out with you, okay?
I think
But-
Tom wants to stay away from me.
No.
Okay. That completes all of our lien reductions. We now have 2 items under new business, both of which are the election of new officers. We'll need 2 motions. The first would be for a motion for a new chairman. We'd need to have somebody make that motion.
You got it?
Go ahead.
You want,
No.
Go ahead.
yeah, I don't know exactly how to phrase this, but I move that we I nominate David Pogorich as
Perfect.
the chairman.
Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next we have next is for the vice chairman. Need a motion for the vice chair.
I nominate Mr. Buckley.
Well, I appreciate that, and I nominate you right back, Sean.
We need
I
one.
have to decline.
Okay, we need a motion. Somebody needs to make a motion.
I'll make a motion for Mr. Buckley to be vice chair.
I would second that.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? One second. Okay, we now have a new chairman, myself. We have a new vice chair, Mr. Buckley. If there's no further business, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, meeting's adjourned. Yes, sir. If you had something else you wanted to? Okay, no, you're fine.
What time is that?
7:25.
What's 7:30, I said?
7:27.
7:30?